Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for two late model open series races being so close to each other. This is my late model open series race for week 4 of season 2 2022. We're here at USA International Speedway. Gonna be going out for qualifying.
Teal,
Tried to run one of
21.74.
these in the first time slot and had a computer issue where it actually just completely froze and locked up during the pace laps. And then jumped back in to just try to salvage safety rating and got wrecked by somebody in that. So,
Pit lane speed
try
limit
to run
is
this one.
miles per hour. It
Was
exits
not
clear.
in the top split for
We
that
have laps to
one.
get the job
This
done.
is a top split, although a weaker field. Forget what car number I am, honestly. There's like 13 of us, and I'm probably like 7 or 8 or something like that. So, gonna go out for qualifying. Let's see what I can do. We've got some guys that are gonna be pretty fast, but see if I can try to contend with any of them. Try to get a good run on this first lap. Just make sure I get the car slowed down. Got it a little too fast in the corner. Kind of sliding a little bit, so first lap's not going to be very good. We'll see if I can try to drive the second lap any better. Just drove the 3 and 4 a little too timidly. Kind of overshot that corner, so not a very good lap to start my qualifying effort.
B7, 21.89.
We'll see what I can do on this second lap, if I can try to improve it at all. I think there's still probably a few people left to go, so that 7th could easily turn back into like a 9th or a 10th. As long as I can start on an inside row, I'll be happy with wherever. I've over-rotated. It's definitely going to be a faster lap, but unfortunately, we'll see if it actually makes any difference.
0.09.
It does not, so all we did was get closer to front runners. Yeah, I mean, obviously not close to what my best lap was, but kind of filling it out a little bit, so got a little hot there into turn 1 and just kind of picked it up. So the qualifying setup and the race setup we'll be running will be available in the Team Goon Squad website. I will have a link in the description box for that. I'm actually going to drop the track bar down on both sides. Feels slightly loose for what I want. But yeah, like I said, this will be available on the website. I will have a link to that website on the description box. Obviously, my qualifying time's not looking good at all compared to the front guys.
That's the end of the session.
Yeah, I have nothing for
7th position.
494 or 553 or 538 or a 555. Those guys are just in their own world. So yeah, looks like we are car number 8 out of 13. So best I can try to hope for is either they have some sort of issues up front and able to squeak away some spots out of them that was unexpected. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at probably, at best, a 4th place finish, which obviously, I mean, I qualified ahead of where I was supposed to be, so I'll take that. Just see what we can do. But yeah, I mean, the setups, I don't make driving look good at all for the setups. I'm sure they could be driven much faster than what I do. They're not going to be, you know, the fastest ones are the razor edge, you know, setups, and I'm not a good enough driver to take advantage of these. Every single setup I build, I run personally. I don't make any changes outside of just track bar for weather adjustments. I don't make any changes to them. So what you see me run is literally what you're gonna get as well. I try to build them to more of the mass drivers. You know, the casual driver that is not able to run that car on the very ragged edge. And you know, that's where I'm at. I'm just flat out not a good enough driver to be able to do that. So these are still massively going to outperform the iRacing setups, and it's a wealth of knowledge too that you get along with them.
7th
So
position,
they're for sure,
40
in my opinion,
laps.
worth it. But get the car fired up here, get ready to roll off. 40 laps. Our starting 7th. Like I said, on the inside line, just gonna try to get as good of a start as we can. Try to take it easy, make sure that I don't overdrive the corners to start. I do set the cars up a little bit loose, just so that way they tend to go to a neutral to a very slightly tight state by the end of the race. And with it being a little bit loose, that is a little bit more efficient on the tires overall as well. So it allows for the car to not fall off quite as bit. So I tend to give up a little bit of time to some of the people up front, but if you saw this on the national one, I was hanging with the leaders, and and was able to pick up the spot based on that speed as well. So, you know, it kind of works out as in the long run. So, just see what we can do. Try to get to the cotton candy car. I believe that is the 6 up ahead and 4th. At least that's what I'm going to call the car. It's an interesting paint scheme. Haven't seen anything like that. So, got a couple names that I recognize. Guys, like I said, that should easily be much quicker. But see if egos get in the way and cause any kind of impact that way. We got some people that I'm a bit worried about just seeing under warm-ups, like almost get hit by the 10. But yeah, just hopefully we don't get piled into. Try to do the best that I can to stay away from, you know, stay off of everybody else and
Get ready
to do. So, off and rolling. It's going to be 40 laps of fun. Should be a nice change of pace compared to the Daytona ARCA race. And just see what we can do. Let's see if we can try to pull away from cars behind and not have to worry about too much pressure from behind. We'll just see how it sorts out up here. 7 seems to be a bit slower in the corners. Let's see if I can get underneath a little bit of contact there. Try to push him up the track without making contact, just trying to take away that inside line. Gotta get positions as quick as you can. Or I shouldn't say as quick as you can, but when you have the ability on these one group short tracks, you gotta try to get them when you can. So you can see the front 2 breaking away, which is pretty much expected. So
the leader's just done it. 21.
It's going to see if I can try to sit here and ride with these 3. Try to work my way towards a top 5 if possible. Kind of taking the corner entries a little bit higher. Lucky that the 7's not diving it in. Easily had the ability to do the same thing to me that I did to him. Kind of looked a little lower. Just kind of recognizing that one, so I had to shut the door. Gotta make sure I slow it down just a little bit more if I'm gonna do that. Car got a little loose into turn 1 and was able to save it. A little bit of contact there between the 4 and the 6. 6 comes back down the track, not sure what was going on there. Thankfully no contact between us. Able to get by him, that's gonna put us into 5th place. We'll see if he slots in front of the 7 or if the 7's able to push him out of the way. 7 hooks in, they're gonna go around. Or just the 6 goes around out of that, so gives us a little bit of a gap back to the 7 though. Not sure if he cut down on the 7 or if the 7 just stuck his nose too low into the inside. And
21.94. The car ahead has just done a 21.78.
Kind of got a little bit of a breakaway. You got the front 2 cars that are just gone, and then you got the 3 and the 4 and the 3 up ahead. They are both pulling away from me, so the place is
pretty consistent.
Kind of where I saw myself being. So let's see what I can do. 5 was able to get by the 7. He's 1.1 back right now. Check the gap at the line and try to keep an eye on that as best as I can. Try to see if we can start clicking off any faster lap times.
21.85.
Again, I will never be quite as fast as these guys up front, but I feel like the car is pretty efficient for the most part, so it doesn't fall off quite as hard. So if I can stay close, not make any mistakes, hopefully be within striking distance the last half of the race and try to close up on them. Just trying to avoid overdriving like I did there through 1 and 2. Pulling away from the 5, so no real pressure from behind, which gives me a good spot to kind of just get settled and start trying to click off a little bit more of a consistent line. 0.3, 1.4 at the line that time. Even if that gap just stayed consistent, you know, 1.1, 1.3, something like that, I'd be happy. That'd be a pretty good gap. Like USA, for me, I mean, it's a fun track. Obviously, it's popular with it being a free track, but it's a fun track. I just feel like these cars might be maybe slightly big. The straightaway are kind of long, but it's still good short track racing. And like I said, I really enjoy the white models, so it's a lot of fun on these cars to begin with. just slowly clicking off the laps, a little over a quarter of the way done. We are on lap 12 of 40. Goal is to stay here, at least finish 5th, and try to see if I can hang with these two at all. We're about a second back from the 3, so if I can finish within a second of them, you know, provided no kind of problems happen or lap cars or anything, I'll be okay with that. Of course, hitting the wall was not the ideal thing to do at all. I'm coming close the last few laps, pushing off in turn 2. That time finally got it, so 2/10 right there cost us a little bit of time to the 3, but
The gap to Edwards.
should be able to recover
Ahead is
hopefully.
now 1.
He's pulling away, but like I said, I'm hoping maybe if I can not lose too much ground and keep close, that they'll push a little bit harder, fall off a little bit more the first half of the race, and then the last 15-20 laps or so I can start slowly reeling them back in. I just know how hard it is to pass, so can't really let that gap get too far out, because I'm going to need to make up a lot of it to be able to have enough laps left to execute a clean pass as well. No pressure from behind. That gap's up to 2.5 seconds, so looks like a 5th place coming, which is certainly better than I'm supposed to finish, better than where we qualified. So got one of the spots kind of out of free spot contact, but that's kind of short track racing, so other one just took advantage of getting a little bit of a better entry into a corner.
108. The gap to Edwards in front is now 1.
It's the biggest thing for this setup and driving in general, obviously. I mean, if you're more experienced than me, I'm repeating things that are second nature for you, but getting the car slowed down, really letting the thing just roll off throttle, trying to keep it from coming in too fast that either pushes you off the track like that, or it'll slide the rear end around and it'll spin out, and then picking up the throttle partway, kind of using 50-60%, and then rolling back into it, trying not to stomp it hard. Looks like we got a battle for the lead up front. Kind of quickly see that as they were going into turn 1. Unfortunately, I'm not really close enough to do anything, but they're running side by side at least. Gives kind of something cool to look at every once in a while when we get in the middle of the straightaways. See them still battling side by side, so they're too far ahead. They're almost 5 seconds ahead, so no shot at getting them, and I'm even falling off too far from the 3 and the 4.
Edwards in front is now 0.81.
So really gonna need some miracles to start happening these last 20 laps here in order to have any shot at picking up a 4th place finish. Maybe we'll get lucky, we'll battle side by side, have some contact or something.
Okay.
Picked up the front a little too early there. That time through 1 and 2 causes me to push out, be a slower lap. Thankfully, 0 pressure from behind, so make those mistakes and not really have anybody breathing about my neck. 5 actually fell back to the 7 to 7's 3 seconds behind. So I've got all the time in the world to just focus on these 2. You can see the 3 actually gets by the 4. So to not see if the 4 just overdrove 1 and shot up the track, or if the 3 made any contact with them. Certainly take a look after the race and see what happened there. Unfortunately, we've fallen off the 3 a little bit, so see if we can try to take advantage, maybe start to fall off a little bit, but that gap's slowly building, if nothing else staying the same with us, so
now 2.0 seconds.
Don't know if we'll be able to do anything. We might just be on the same pace as him. Just kind of rolling the car around with the brake bias back a little bit, just to kind of help the entry a little bit more. Got the brakes a little further forward than I typically run, so kind of gives me a little bit of wiggle room to make some adjustments in the race. Kind of try to keep a consistent feeling on entry, which then sets me up for the rest of the corner. 15 to go this time by,
Gap to Campbell ahead is now 2.2
gonna
seconds.
need to be picking up quite a bit of time. I mean, you're really talking closer to probably at least 2 tenths of a lap, if not a little bit more, which I don't know if they're falling off that much considering that he's still technically extending the gap on me, so it's definitely looking more and more like a 5th place finish, which is nothing to hang my hat on at all. Just wanted to be able to get you guys a little bit of a better run so you can see a little more capabilities of the setup, but you know, certainly
1.24.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people, if you decide to try it out and pick it up, who will make it look far better than I will. I just feel like I'm overdriving a little bit into the corners and kind of sliding up a little bit too much on apex in the corner.
Lap time's pretty consistent, 0.24.
It's overall not too bad. It's pretty.
Gap to Campbell ahead is now
Ow, I
2.2
smacked the
seconds.
wall. There goes the 0x. Just an absolute idiot pushing off the turn 2. I was gonna say, it feels pretty easy to drive consistent laps, and then I do something completely stupid like that. So, should have been an easy 0x instead. I'm an idiot, but 2x is better than the last late model race I had, and still better than the Daytona race. So, gotta keep getting cleaner races in so I can keep working towards that A license, but I'll get there. Starting lap 30 now. No chance of getting back to either the 3 or the 4 without them having some sort of problem. I'm just already going to need to be perfect, and that wall shot just didn't help things at all, so it's just all on me trying to pick up the throttle too early, not listening to my own advice of laying off the throttle, letting the car roll a little bit more. But still solidly in a 5th place spot.
2.9 seconds.
7 closed up a little bit. Looks like he might be either slightly faster or staying consistent. We'll check it and see. I know it's closer than what it was, but 3.2 this time, so pay attention and see what it goes to. We're going to have the 11 coming up. He's in an all-chrome paint scheme. Not going to need to be in a massive hurry to get by him, but certainly going to want to get by him as quickly as possible. But we'll try to do it as safely as possible as well. Gap's holding pretty consistent with 7. It's 3.2 again, so I think it might have just tucked up from the wall contact
in
and
front
like an idiot.
3.0 seconds.
Gonna have the 9 coming up as well. Don't know if we'll get to him before the end of the race. Certainly the 11 we are going to. We have 7 to go this time by. He's gonna stay high. Thank you to him. Thank you, 11. Trying to use the chat to be a little bit more friendly with everybody. I'm not going to sit here and talk on it. I hate people who do that, but I'm certainly going to give thanks and appreciation wouldn't necessarily like that. Try to apologize when I do something wrong as well. See if I can keep it a nicer environment overall. Obviously, you're always going to get the people that don't comply with that, and it makes it worse, but try to do my part to make it a little bit more pleasant and fun. Because as much as I would love to be a fast driver, top level driver, I'm nowhere near that, so gotta remember that it is all for fun right now, and even when I get to that point, it's still supposed to be fun as well. So, gotta try to treat it as such. 4 to go this time.
1 gallon remaining.
Sort of a boring race, sorry. Wish I could have been a little bit quicker, a little more competitive, and closer to the 3 and the 4, but go back and check and see what happened between them and see how the side-by-side between the 1 and 2 worked out, but at least I am outperforming what my expectations were coming into the race. In terms of iRating, safety rating might not be quite as good as I wanted, but certainly iRating will not be a terrible day. At least be positive.
Front is
that's for sure. Which positive in any direction, no matter how much it is, I am very thankful for at this point. Got just 2 to go.
2 laps remaining.
Just kind of working. It seems like 4 might have been a little bit faster than this. I'm not sure if the damage on the right front from the wall shot is affecting the car at all or not. Doesn't seem to be drastically different. I'm still able to put in some reasonably consistent lap times. So
White flag, last lap.
I think I, as a driver, am just a little bit off. But like I said, the car's really balanced, really comfortable, really consistent. Doesn't fall off all that bad. So it's a really nice setup to run for sure. If you want to get a confidence builder that's going to be competitive enough to get you closer in field. This is going to be
okay, it's over.
biggest strength of field, but this isn't not a terrible strength of field. So park it here on the inside, and we will take a look and see what happened off the start. Let's see what happened up ahead with this is going to be the 3 here, and then we've got the 6 up ahead, the 7 is behind him. Actually, let's go up to the 6, so you've got I believe this is the 4? Yeah, 4 is on the outside, so one's going to get by the 4, 6 is going to get the run, 4 is going to block, he goes all the way to the inside of the track, which I guess is what he does. He kind of pushes up there in the middle of 3 and 4. So he's going to try to get the run on him on the inside. The 4s are running side by side. A little bit of contact there. I don't know. That's hard. The 4 is definitely pinching the 6 down for sure. 6 dives it in, 4 gives him room that time. 4 kind of comes back down on him, makes sense, but 6 definitely was probably trying to push a little bit tougher than a little bit harder than he should have to get by. I don't think he was quite clear there to pull up. That one I'm going to put on the 6, and then 4 gives him a bit of a shot to send him up the track. Gets to his inside, he's going to have the position going into turn 1. 6 is going to try to this is good side-by-side short track racing right here. This is really okay. So let's see. I think that's gonna be more. I think on the 6 because he's trying to turn in. They're both turning in. The 4's got the inside lane, and the 6 just tries to outbrake him and then pinch him down and comes down across him. Yeah, I'm gonna put that one more on the 6 than I am the 4. I think he definitely tried to outbrake him and cut down, and was just not there. So you can see it ends up, that contact kind of slides him up the track. He's still getting loose, his tires get hot, so taps the wall there. That's what allowed me to try to get to the inside of him going into 1, and I tried to take that shot there. So that was the closest, as close as we ever be. Okay, so this is the contact I saw behind. So at this point, the 6 is running up against the wall, pretty much. I don't know what happens to the 7 specifically, but he just kind of gets loose almost and comes up the track, taps the left rear of the 6. That gets the 6 loose. 6 tries to save it. These cars are pretty tough to save slides, so it ends up overcorrecting, coming back across the track, and the 7 sends him around. So let's look at that from the 7's perspective, because I don't really. Let's see what caused him to do that. He's coming out of the corner, trying to hold it off. I don't know. I'm not really understanding that one. Like, I don't want to call that intentional, but I don't know why he just turned right and got into the 6 there. That one's not really making sense to me, to be 100% honest. So feel free to leave your analysis or your feedback of that. You can tell me what you think. I don't know. I don't. That one's definitely on the 7. I just don't understand what exactly was going on there. So let's take a look at the 3 and the 4. There's the point where the 3 gets by the 4. Alright, so we'll rewind it a little bit here. So it's going to come in off of turn 4. 4 gets really loose out of turn 4, so he's slow. I think he knew his tires were hot and he was going to have a hard time getting into the corner, so he just backed off and let the 3 go. It's better for him to do that than for them to fight side by side and risk the possibility of sliding, spinning out, wrecking, and giving up more spots to me. You know, certainly no reason for him to push it that hard. So I would say that was a strategy play based, a smart race strategy play by the 4 there. So take a look at the 1, 3. They're going to end up running side by side fairly soon, I believe. Let's see if I can find the part where they were running side by side. We should be getting to that. We can watch that battle for a little bit because I thought that one was pretty good. All right, so here we go. Across the start lap 19. 2's taking kind of the preferred line. Hadn't even able to get down. He understands that the one's there, so he can't come all the way to the bottom. But that little bit of a later entry is definitely an easier way on the tires. Later apex in the corner gets your top speed up, your momentum up. It's a little bit easier on the tire too. So yeah, that certainly wasn't a bad move. As you can see, running side by side really well, giving each other just enough room, but not giving each other, you know, massive amounts. So really clean by both of them, each one kind of going back and forth. Almost a little contact there, but that was the point when the one was going to clear him. And 2 kind of gives him just a little bit of a bump, let him know, hey, I'm still here. See if he tries to go to the inside. Yeah, the 1 slides up, going into 1 kind of overdrives. The 2 is going to work his way to the inside. Do the same thing, let's just flip rolls. 2's going to work the inside. Try to clear the 1. Turn 4, not quite able to do it to pull up in front of him, but he's got a better line through 1 this time. He gets a little loose. 2's going to check up, fall in behind him. You can see him trying to cut underneath off the 2 down the backstretch to see if he can get to the inside. 1 leaves the door open, or the 2 leaves the door open, so 1's going to take it. We're going to flip the spot back and forth. I wish I would have been a part of this battle or was close enough to watch it, because this is great short track racing. This is awesome racing with 2 guys that are respecting each other, understand where they both stand, and doing a great job to run each other as cleanly as possible. This is really fun to watch here. This is what I want to be able to be good enough to start taking part in, and, you know, have this level of respect with everybody that you can do that. So 1 would hold on to it to finish, just barely ahead of the 2. So great battle that way. That's awesome to watch. So let's take a look at the results, see how those were. Those should be fairly decent. Yeah, I mean, like I said, pretty happy with that. Wish I could have avoided hitting the wall. Shouldn't have. I mean, that was completely avoidable. So was top split of 227.86. So again, not crazy strong for late models, but for me, you know, obviously pretty strong. We were about 2/10 off on average lap, so just a little over that, which, you know, pretty happy with that. Again, my driving, you know, could be better. Obviously, they're a lot faster up front. Everybody was here, but we were running pretty close pace with them on the back end, so it just doesn't fall off quite as hard. But yeah, able to gain 46 iRating, so just over 2450, 2461 actually to be exact. So trying to grind it back up there, and at least able to gain 0.07 on the safety rating. So slowly get that back up there. Just got to clear out some incidents. Like I said, the first late model race I did not go very well for that. So it's going to take a few clean races there to try to clear that out of the recent corners, and hopefully should help. So hopefully sooner than later be back up to A license. Not sure what other series I will run for Pivotal for the rest of this week, but gonna try to get a good mix in for you guys before I head out for my little weekend racing getaway. Radio control car racing. So I'll leave you guys with plenty to watch and hopefully plenty to enjoy. But yeah, glad to at least picked up a couple spots. Had a little bit of competitive start and just tried to manage the race as best as I could and see what I could get out of it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Feel free to leave all of your feedback for any of the things we looked at. Would love to see you guys picking up the setup and running that. Would love to see that. if you guys are able to do that and you want to share results with me, by all means, would love to hear that as well. It'd be great to hear what kind of successes you guys are able to get on it, and hopefully, if you guys haven't run the late model series, be a good introduction to it, help you enjoy it, and if you've been looking for more in it to be competitive, certainly a good thing. The late model fixed series is pretty clean, but the open series definitely, I feel like for the most part, it's been really respectful and really clean and really fun. So I think for most of the short tracks, for the most part, the open series tend to be a lot better. So get a few cutthroat races, but overall they're pretty fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hope to hear from you and look forward to getting more races out for you. And so until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.